What's going on, guys? Today, we're inside of Tau Biohack's account. This is going to be a bit of an interesting review slash account coaching, which if you click the link down below and try to sign up, that's what we're doing here. I had a few questions about that recently. This is going to be a bit different, though, because he specifically wanted some help with Chimera and Hydra. He's feeling like he's stuck and his account's just not really progressing. However, on this screen, you don't really see anything that stands out. But when we start navigating into the fragment summons, you see there are no more Doom Tower champions. If we look at the dungeon times, the dungeons are all farming really fast, 1:07. We have Spider's Den at 20 seconds. This is not early and mid-game stuff. Matter of fact, we come over here and look at the missions. He already has Marius. So how is he struggling in Hydra and Chimera? I was looking through some of the builds and the champions, and when you look at the champion list, you're going to think, how is his account struggling? He has amazing champions. And yes, he does. I'm sure he could throw it together a team with the builds he currently has. But there was an issue a little bit further down that I think once changed, his account is going to be completely different. Now, finishing out the first initial look of the account to get an idea of where we're at, if we scroll up a little bit, we'll see, okay, he has 350 rank 6 champions. That is a ton. He is definitely in game. Finished all of the Marius stuff and everything like that. We have 265 legendary champions. Dungeon progression is very, very good. Faction Wars, we're doing great there. Arena, he's in Silver 1, 3v3, which I think I know the problem here. The problem here is the same problem he's having with Chimera and Hydra. He said in Chimera specifically, he has trouble surviving past turn 30. Which, if I remember correctly, turn 30, I think is entering Viper form, right? Somewhere around Viper, which is understandable because Viper is a nightmare anyways, but we can definitely get through that. Fastest champions, 431. Very, very fast potential champion there. His Siphi could be 431 with all the max gear and good relic as well. He has some Wand of Submissions. Clan Boss is all good. Hydra and Chimera is what I'll be working on. And then Doom Tower, all cleared, has all the fragments. His suggestions are down here. Before I reveal those, let's jump over into the gear section. This top part is going to be what's relevant. This bottom part, I'll likely add some text to. But what we're looking at here is his gear breakdown. It's not the worst, definitely not the best. I would much rather see a lot less rank 5 and a lot more rank 6. But once again, this is kind of where the issue is stemming from. And once changed, he's going to be in a much better spot. I'm going to end up probably building one Hydra team, because with 1.47 million silver, it's going to be some magic that needs to happen, basically. We're just going to have to switch around some gear and possibly squeeze one out. We have Hydra reset very soon, so I'd love to do that for him. But accessories, it's difficult to judge that because so many rank 5 accessories from different sets make it difficult to sell stuff because you need some Feral, you need some Merciless, you need some Supersonic for potential 9-piece builds, or even 6-piece builds, 4-piece builds, whatever. It's a bit difficult. So I don't mind accessories having more rank 5, but artifacts, you really want to try to trim away this fat on the rank 5. It should only be amazing rank 5 accessories. Now, we're going to jump in and take a look at the actual champions. I tried to delay this just a little bit because once I open this, you're going to think there should definitely be a lot of Hydra teams from this. And there definitely is. Don't get me wrong. There 100% is. And this is a player who has accomplished almost every area of the game with his champions and his builds. And when you're looking through them, the first few champions I show you, you're not going to see any red flags whatsoever. Good speed on Lady Mikage, 9-piece protection. That's a well-built Lady Mikage. Looking at Alaz, no blessing. We have 4 pieces of Savage. We have some speed. We have really good speed. 100% crit rate, 287% crit damage, not bad. We have Cat's Gaze on him. Not a bad relic whatsoever on him. We have fairly low HP, so he's going to get the condition met majority of the time. Bad El Khazar is obviously not built. Garrel's not built. Ninja, this is where the issues start to arise. We have 163 speed, 97% crit rate, adding 3% on top of the RNG that's already in the game. We have pretty decent accuracy depending on where he's built for. But if you compare this +4 Ninja's build to this Alaz's build, you'll see the Alaz is taking far more turns than the Ninja. This is where the issues kind of start to appear. We have a good blessing. Everything else is great there. Arbiter, pretty simple build, fast speed. Not the fastest champion, but The Siphi is taking a lot of the fastest gear, putting her at 425 speed. So she's 425 speed. The Arbiter's 395, two pretty fast champions who's going to win a lot of speed races. Take a look at Marius, who is in his arena team, and he's rocking 209 speed with 98% crit rate. All right, so right now we have champions who are built really well in Alaz and Siphi and Arbiter and Lady Mikage, but then we have some champions who are built very slow. In Marius and Ninja, let's click Trunda. She has no gear. We have a Nishak here. He's built quite well. 288, 448, could use a bit more accuracy, but maybe he has Arachne Elixir. I like that build. Could definitely use some more accuracy though, and Lethal Dose is not doing a ton, but Arachne Elixir is probably helping out. The Wand of Submission could be cool as well. Doesn't need this. More attack percentage is great. Actually, that's great. It's going to give him more attack percentage from that set. The defense ignore is not going to do anything, but let's continue past that. We have Leo with no gear. We have Necrit with a shield set. Ideally, it'd be a shield set plus a stone skin set if you're going to do that. We have Taras actually in a cool 4-piece stone skin, 4-piece savage. His speed, while 213, very good HP. So I'd say he's on the better built end of this account for sure. He has pretty okay speed. To be honest, I don't love his speed that low, but for it to be stone skin plus savage, I don't mind it. Wand of Submission is not necessarily my favorite. I prefer the Talon for extra crit damage, but Wand of Submission, definitely not bad whatsoever. It's a very good catch-all relic for any champion, basically, in PvP. Now, with his Blessing, I would definitely go Lightning Cage. Honestly, if it's a PvP champion and you're unsure what to go, if it's below 6-star, just go Lightning Cage. If you're running them in Stone Skin, you're not going to have a problem with just going Lightning Cage. Now, it's enough talk about his champions. Maybe you get the idea, maybe you don't, but essentially the gearing that he has on his champions, it's variable. Some of it's really good, some of it's not so good, but the ones that are not so good are bad just because they're very slow. And very slow is the difference maker in things like Hydra and even in Chimera. You got to be very, very fast, but also have the mechanics. So that's what I want to touch on. I want to touch on how I would go about building a team for Nightmare Hydra for him, hitting on the mechanics as well as the gearing. Not so much the specific champions. I am going to use specific champions, but I want you guys to know, hey, this is what I would do for Hydra. These are the kind of speeds and everything. And then Chimera, I'll try to do something similar, but it's going to be a little bit more tricky because trials get involved in everything, and then the runs become more difficult. But let's take a look at Nightmare. I would love for him to get a key in before the reset. He's obviously done keys before. We have some Stone Skin stuff. Once again, we're running into a very similar issue that I've seen in a lot of accounts, which is gear just not being upgraded. We go down to the Stone Skin stuff. We have a lot of pieces not upgraded here. Not terrible, I guess, especially for the amount of silver he has, but a lot of pieces that need to be cleansed, and a gear cleanse for this account would do it wonderfully, basically. A lot of Merciless and Supersonic not cleansed, which extra silver, actually good pieces from this as well. So a lot of stuff you could pull from that. Slayer, same thing here. Feral, same thing. Roll these up. If it like triple rolls, maybe quad roll, definitely go ahead and rework it. Just try to roll like 4 and then 8, or just do 8. If it goes for a double, then consider re-rolling it or taking it up higher, basically. These I do roll basically all of them with the chances of quad rolling or something, so I can get a potential rework into some speed. That's just my idea. Even if it's got bad stats like this, these stats are just not that good for a helmet. You're looking for speed and accuracy for things like this. It's not going to be a gear cleanse focus review. We're going to talk about Hydra specifically, but I did want to mention that because keeping your gear under control makes a massive difference in your overall account. Now, what I've done for him is I've included, and I'm showing you guys this as well, the, I guess, main things I look for in building a Hydra team, and that is a Veil, Cleanse, or Shamael, somebody to deal with the true fear from the Head of Torment. If you have 2 cleanse champions, that typically is enough to deal with it, like a Mikage plus Mithrala is a pretty good combo for that. Hex is so you can target the Head of Mischief, and it spreads the damage, so it just helps you do more damage and actually hit the Head of Mischief. Decrease speed, provoke, decrease defense and weaken, which is pretty easily done by just Lydia. Increase speed, 1 to 2 damage dealers, block buffs, and possibly a mischief tank. Of course, there are hundreds of different combinations. This is kind of like what I'm looking for when going through this. Hex can be addressed by a champion or a gear set. If you haven't done enough Ice Golem, do more Ice Golem, get some Hex sets. Provoke, same thing. If you don't have a good Provoke champion, do some more Ice Golem, get some more Provoke sets. You got a good Provoke champion, ideally with AoEs on the A1 ability. So since he's done no runs so far, what was his previous Nightmare team? We have a Immic team, not bad. We've got some one key potential here with a proper setup, but not at all what we need to use, right? He has some teams through here that kind of got the start of a good team, but it's not quite pulling it off, right? So let's delete this first one. This is a Trunda team here, which, to be honest, Trunda, one, should have Nature's Wrath. She should also have a Rethi Coronet if she doesn't already have that. She could be done on normal, possibly even hard difficulty. It's a big difference. Not normal, sorry. Should be done on hard, but getting her to Nightmare would be basically impossible because Trunda needs a lot of damage to do Nightmare. So I just wouldn't even worry about that. But what we're going to do here, let's start off. Who would we be using for a damage dealer? Well, Marius does the best on highest difficulties. So does Wallmaster Athorion. Does he have Wallmaster? Yeah, he does right there. Now, do we want to use Wallmaster and Marius on the same difficulty? Maybe, maybe not. But let's go through here and go ahead and look for block buff champions. For block buff options, we have one of the best Hydra champions in the game. We have Feral. If you got Feral, you basically got a cheat code. Block buffs, increase resistance, decrease accuracy, AoE. We have boosts to all of our damage from his passive, and he has the Veil. So he answers many of these requirements I was looking for. However, take a look at his Feral real quick. He's not geared. Well, he's kind of geared, but he's missing a helmet. Probably wasn't being used. I thought he was naked. He's not actually naked. Is there a Glycad or Glaciad in this account? There's not. So we have a potential block buff champion there. Let's go for a decreased speed. Decreased speed, very important. The debuffs in this list is not in specific order. It's just thrown up there. All of them I value very highly. Of course, there are specific teams that don't need all of them, but in general, you want to have most of them. So with Feral, he does have a decreased speed, but it's just single target. Of course, we could go over to the Hell Hades Optimizer and see what it recommends, which is not a problem. Definitely a good way to approach this as well. But I want to break down, we'll take a quick look. I do want to break down actually how I would go about building a Hydra team and then maybe throwing it together. So rotation 6, if we come to the optimizer, you can see rotation 6 is, let me get rid of this tab real quick. Rotation 6, Hydra, very important to have the correct rotation. We'll go Nightmare, find team, open it big, exclude manual. We don't want none of that manual nonsense. Titus with Brogni can definitely work. The build for that will be a bit too complex for this specific video. This is a much more realistic team. Feral, Mikage, Ninja, Trunda, Uko, Krisk. It doesn't hit all the requirements I'm going to be talking about, and these champions are probably built quite well. So I'll probably end up doing something different than this because I'm not for sure how well the gear on this account can perform, and I really don't want to have to upgrade stuff because we don't have the silver for that. He doesn't expect me to do this, so I want to be careful with that. However, Ninja plus Mikage, very, very good combo because they'll also be used over in Chimera. Let's go back to Hydra though. So we're looking at Feral right now. Feral answers several of those things. If you answer everything, you can just throw in more turn meter boost or more damage. So if you get everything answered easily, it's no problem. Just throw in some other stuff. Let's go for Provoke Champion. I bet he has some really good Provoke options, actually. We, of course, have Krisk. I'm kind of surprised Archer is not on here, but Krisk is an amazing option. Alaz is also a really good option, though block damage could be stolen. He's not booked, so we're not going to throw him in there just yet because we may or may not have a Mischief tank for this. However, he is built well. He does bring the Provoke AoE, and he has okay accuracy. We'll have a bit more accuracy from Feral's passive, though, right? Extra 50 there. And he does not boost our accuracy, unfortunately, but it's a potential option. We also have Grazer. He fits a damage dealer role, plus the Provoke role, plus he is going to give us increased defense, also an increased resistance, which may or may not be needed doubled up with Ferals. So let's save him maybe for a different difficulty. We're looking right now for Provoke specifically, also a decreased speed. We have Krisk. Krisk is an amazing, amazing champion. He's also fully booked. Is he geared? Kind of. So let's go ahead and throw Krisk in here. With Krisk, you want him to be as close to the lead spot as possible, so we'll put him in number 2. He has no aura, but number 2 spot is going to mean if any of the Hydra heads hit, they're going to do regular damage to that first spot. They're going to hit Krisk. Krisk is going to have his passive activate. It's going to place decreased attack on the head that hit, and then every ally behind Krisk is going to get damage equivalent to the head having the decreased attack applied, which is typically a massive reduction. So you always want Krisk pretty far in the lead spot. Now for the other champions, we're going for decreased defense and weaken. I already got an idea of which champion we're going to use here, just because she's probably already built and built pretty well, and that's Lydia. 278 speed, 444 accuracy. Very nice. Now, we got decreased speed. Sorry, not decreased speed. We have increased speed. We have decreased defense and weaken. The increased speed's also going to go in Krisk. Krisk does bring an increased speed, so we don't necessarily need Lydia, but she will give him increased speed as well. If we wanted to go a different option, because Lydia may be better suited for a lower difficulty, then we could also throw in a champion like Venus instead. Venus plus Cupidus, if he is on the account, which hopefully he is. He is not on the account. Well, Venus plus Cupidus is awesome, but we can just drop Lydia, have Venus, and then use Lydia for a different Hydra team. Something I always try to look for is, okay, this champion is really good on their own. They answer several of the conditions. If I can, let's try to get them in a team where they're not necessarily putting everything into one. Unless, of course, your best team is doing billions of damage and you're manualing it, then yes, put your best stuff into that one team. In this case, not necessarily going to be the situation. So now we have Torment. So what we have in this team so far is we have Veil, we have decreased speed, we have Provoke, we have decreased defense and weaken. We also have HP Burn, which is going to be nice against Poison Cloud. We don't have increased speed. We have no damage dealers yet. Block buffs, we do have from Feral. And then Mischief Tank can be Krisk, but we're also going to have decreased accuracy from Feral, so it's going to be a little bit easier. Now, Feral's a champion that changes the plans a little bit. Since he boosts damage dealt from his passive, or yeah, this 4 more buffs condition, if you throw champions like Ninja plus Mikage, this is a very good combo here, because as long as you can get all of these buffs up, Mikage's going to make that easier. Ninja's going to be popping off with some massive damage, making him so incredibly good. However, we're not going to do that right now, because his Ninja is built very slow, and with this build, I don't think he's going to be performing that well in Hydra Force. Though, to be fair, even in this team, that Ninja may pop off still. He's, 190-something speed? So, no, 163. Actually, let's do that. Let's get Ninja in a better build here, and we'll use him for this Hydra team for sure. We'll just have this set up so he actually has a pretty decent team. And Marius, is he going to come in here or not? Because we have another champion who could do really well. But let's make sure we have everything addressed. We don't have a Hex champion yet. We could put a Hex set on one of these 2 champions ideally, or maybe this champion who comes in this last spot. We have a Provoke. We have, I think, everything else basically, right? We have Mischief, block buffs, damage, increased speed, decreased defense and weaken, Provoke. I'm thinking about Chimera as well, so we're potentially going to rebuild the Mikage and Ninja. Feral can be used over in Chimera also. Get a nice full auto team potentially going for him. It'll be difficult with Ninja and Mikage to full auto Chimera though, because Mikage sends Ninja to his death basically. Plus, not going to be as good on certain affinities. Either way, I think I'd probably go something like Marius. Definitely would want a Reviver over in that team. Now for this team, that's something we don't currently have, is a Revive champion. So if champions start falling, we're in a pretty bad spot. With Feral, we should be pretty tanky and able to survive a lot of stuff. With Ninja plus Mikage, we should be fine for majority of the fight, having him freed if we have another champion who's doing decent damage. But let's just get an idea of who could possibly be doing some revives. So positive effects, revives. We have Siphi, who could do a res. We have Ancora, who can do some revives. I kind of am interested in having, what was the other champion? Teox in the team for Ninja as well, but may not be able to get that done necessarily. We do have a potential Provoke champion in Molly, who could jump in here. We have some more survivability from Lydia in place of Venus, who would give us that strengthen, which could be pretty helpful as well. Other than that, I'm thinking possibly a Siphi, but then you're looking at block buffs. You really need a Mischief Tank for this, which we do have one, by the way, in Krisk. We have a decreased attack and Krisk's ability being hit whenever he's hit by the heads and stuff. We have extra accuracy in the lead aura spot. Siphi is already built, so it's going to be pretty decent. What teams are here? Okay, yeah. So Feral, fairly similar. They don't have a revive champion there. They do actually. Uko. So Uko's not going to be 100% consistent on the res, but he's not going to be bad. Sometimes he just throws it out there whenever he wants, basically. He has multiple revive champions there. He has one reviver there with Teox. Very similar team. Ugo in place of Feral, basically, which, of course, is an amazing champion. You could do the same thing with, instead of Venus, throw in a different champion potentially, like a Teox, because Teox is also going to place, he's going to bring in Ninja for other attacks, right? So it's only if other Lizardmen are in the team, right? So if one ally is on the team, which is if Krisk is here, then what is our bonus we get? We get 25% chance of counterattack whenever an ally is attacked by an enemy under a debuff. Okay. And then we're also going to ignore strengthen ally protection and shield, which is cool. With this ability, the ally with the highest crit damage will team up and join the attack. He's not bringing any decreased defense, but Ninja would be. We don't have Weaken. We do have Krisk doing his stuff. Siphi with the res. If I was building this team, I'd probably build a team just to be tanky enough to not need a reviver, to be honest. But with the account, not for sure how tanky these champions can be. I think crutching on Siphi right now is not the worst idea. I think with a proper team build, getting Siphi, replacing with somebody else to help you do more damage faster is going to be the better option. But a team like this should be able to just one key Nightmare and actually do some really good damage as well. So what do we have? We have the decreased speed. We have the increased speed. We have the block buffs. We have plenty of damage from these two. We have Mikage bringing in Ninja for even more. You could realize, okay, this is we don't need this much damage. We can go with a different option here. It's going to be fine. Marius, he's sitting out. He's chilling. He could be easily added into this team. I do like Teox plus Krisk quite a bit. If we had like a Sulfurion or something, that'd be even better to throw in this team. Faction, Lizardmen. Let's see what we have here. What do we have? What do we have? So we don't have any of the craziest Lizardmen necessarily. But this team, definitely not going to do bad. Let's go check out who is built and who could be adjusted. So Feral is right here. Obviously, 9-piece protection is going to be the best thing for him. Could we even do that, though? 9-piece protection, just prioritize the set over the stats. Of course, you want good stats as well, but getting the set on him will really be the key. We can't get the set on him, unfortunately. So what we're going to do instead is just come here, priority stats speed. With this, I would actually rather him be in something like Relentless plus, maybe Relentless plus Merciless, something along those lines. I'd rather him be faster as well, like 270, 280. But I want to try to get a team together for him without upgrading any gear. This is not a typical Hydra takeover, just an account review showing him how I would go about doing this. Obviously, if I'm going to actually do this, I'd spend much more time theory crafting this team and actually executing it, optimizing the builds. But as just a, hey, use this before reset, awesome. We don't have enough resistance to be Mischief Tank right now, unfortunately. We are okay speed, accuracy is good. Resistance, we may be better off though because Feral's going to be reducing their accuracy anyways. We could always put somebody in the lead spot to boost our resistance anyways. As far as the accuracy and stats that we need for this, it's going to be accuracy for here. It's going to be a bit different on the actual boss. Head of Mischief has a bit more, but resistance 340. I think it's more closer to like 400. And then 400 accuracy. For resistance, we need about 405. It's going to be a little bit different things, like more like 450 and 350. Either way, let's get back to optimizing some of these champs. So Mikage is already good. We already know that. So is Siphi. Feral's been fixed. This team has the core components to do good. Is it going to be the most optimal? No, I already said that though. Krisk, we have the Hex set on him. That's why we're not finding a Hex champion here. We have Siphi. We have Ninja. Where is Ninja? If Ninja's built properly, well, actually, I will adjust his build. We'll save the presets. We'll swap his build, and he'll be doing really good. I said Teox and who was the last champion? So Ninja, Teox. Do I have it here? Okay, we do. Feral. Yes, Feral, the man, the beast of a champion. One of the best Hydra champions in the game. Of course, it's going to be a relatively easy and expected build for a lot of players, I'm sure. We're going to open with that. Krisk, we're going to open with this, and then number 1, and then number 2. Krisk should be like 270 speed, ideally, or at least having some better stuff on him. We'll do number 1 and number 2. Doesn't really matter. Ninja, number 1. I definitely want him to have more speed, though. I want him to have way more speed than he has. Siphi's not the best reviver. We do have some decent survivability stuff here throughout the team. As for buffs, we should be covered. Siphi's not the best res just because hers is single target. And sometimes you have more champions die than just that. But we do have decreased attack as well, so we should be fine. Now, as for Ninja, I know he's probably using him somewhere, so let's go check the preset manager. We're going to save this as main, or let's go old Ninja. Save as champion preset. And then we're going to come in here and let's actually try to build a champion, because this will give us an idea of where the account's gear is at and maybe help you as well. Whenever possible, I love to get the accessories to be merciless or whatever set you're going for. That's like a 9-piece set. We're ideally going for 6 pieces here. But these are most likely going to be lower than the quality you could get from top pieces, like just your regular pieces. Unless he has some really good merciless pieces, which I kind of doubt it. And I literally have no silver to upgrade anything. So we're going to see what we can pull off here. Let's go for crit damage gloves. Actually, let's not do that just yet, because we have 1 necklace. That means something on here can be a regular piece. Let's see. Does he have speed boots with good crit rate? Accuracy is really nice to see. Crit rate there, we actually lose a little bit. So the crit rate boots he has on right now, while they're not they're not crit rate boots. The merciless boots he has on right now, while they don't have speed as a main stat, they do have some crit rate. We'll swap these out for this. He does lose some attack. It's going to be okay. Let's see what we can get for the chest plate. Do we have an attack percentage chest plate already at 16? We do. There's no crit rate on it, though. So let's see on his overall account. Priority stats crit rate, priority stats speed, not equipped. I want to take it from somebody who's not wearing it currently. There's an impulse piece. There we go. Double. Potential crit damage extra set. We have a perception piece. We have a slayer piece that is unfortunately not 16, and we can't take it to 16 either. These pieces could possibly roll decent, but let's take, this is 25 speed, 1 crit rate. Gotta be careful with this because I do want to gain a lot of speed. We could, of course, use the optimizer, but I don't want to use it just yet. Let's go equipped. We're going to go for crit damage pieces. He may have a pretty good crit damage. Yeah. While it is 5-star, it's okay. Let's go for equipped storage. He's a +4 ninja, so this dude should be popping off, basically. For the top row, let's go for priority stats speed, and then some crit rate as well. We have to be crit capped. Crit cap is so important. I want it to be much more crit rate than he currently is sitting at, though. So we're going to go priority stats speed with low priority on the crit rate there. There we go. 16 speed. Very good stuff. Bump this up some. 17 plus 10. We lose some crit damage, unfortunately. So it's 254 instead of 320. But he has a lot more speed. His accuracy is pretty decent. It's not anything that amazing, honestly. This shield. Do we have the ability? Actually, let's just see this. Let's go to the optimizer real quick. We'll go ninja. And then we'll see. Okay, he's a +4. We'll go damage mode, stats. For Hydra, let's just do this. We'll open up the Hell Hades Stages tool. We'll go to Hydra, rotation 6. Make sure the accuracy needs I have are correct. So 330, 340, 320. So 350, 360-ish is going to be perfect. So we'll go 350, just because he may be using some other content. Maybe this makes him decent there. Let's go 250 would be really good speed. If we can get some good gear from that, I'll be really happy. We'll go add set merciless. It's going to be different, of course, if you could actually build out the champions and upgrade the gear. But with limited silver, can't do much, obviously. But I'm used to having limited silver anyway, so not really that big of a deal. So let's go through. Actually, let's not do that. Let's go to stats, change goal, remote optimization, configure, start, view, and we'll wait a few seconds for that to happen. And while we wait, we'll make sure everybody else is geared decent. So Feral's good. Teox. Teox is another one who probably needs a gear change. Now with Teox, this is a good set. He is slow. However, if you're going to use him in PvP, I would definitely consider Stone Skin. We don't have any Stone Skin taken up. Definitely a big reason to be doing a lot of Hydra to get even more Stone Skin gear in general. But Stone Skin could definitely be good for him. I'm going to prioritize getting Ninja built well, though, because Ninja will be with Mikage as well. So it is going to be very important. Now, we obviously lose some damage here. We lose 28% damage. However, we're going to be taking a lot more turns, and we're still getting the benefits of the 6-piece Merciless. Now, in Chimera, that may not be as strong, right? Because Chimera is going to have Mikage doing a ton of the extra attacks anyways. We have the 6-piece Merciless. Let's see how this plays out. We have 100% crit rate, so we're guaranteed a crit every time. We lose some crit damage and we lose some attack, but we're going about 100 speed faster than before, which is huge. Now, unfortunately, let's take it up. We got it. Extra attack percentage, no. Of course, this could be optimized further. We could get this taken up all the way as well. We do have enough to do that, so we'll go ahead and take care of that one. And then these, of course, could be upgraded eventually. We'll use the free gear removal. Let's change this preset to 250 speed ninja. Doesn't really need to have the ninja in the name because it can only be ninja. But now Teox. Potential to be changed here. We already got the builds up. He is good crit rate. A little bit slow. If it's as simple as switching the boots, that would be fine. Attack percentage. Really, I would just say for him, just get a good banner with attack on it and just bump his speed up like this. Could we even do that? Extra 10 speed, but we lose a lot of stats there. We lose 500 attack for 10 speed. Not really worth it there. I would just rather find it somewhere else. These banners could potentially give it to us, but not for sure. So these gloves could easily be an extra chunk of speed if they had some speed rolls on it. The difference you'll see from having correct speeds on your champs in Hydra areas is going to be so massive. Honestly, I'd even consider dropping off a little bit of defense ignore, 5% for, 20, 30, potentially even more speed. So let's see if we could even do that. Priority stats speed. We'll go crit rate, select, and speed. We'll go here, chest plate and weapon, attack percentage for the chest plate. We have this one with huge speed. We have this crit damage one. We're going to lose a little bit of speed from that. It does have double roll crit rate on it. And then let's go priority stats speed for the weapon. Do we have one in crit rate? We do. We gain some crit damage, but we don't really gain much speed. So not really what I'm looking for there. Do we have a different crit damage chest plate with even more speed? A little bit, but not quite enough. Let's go ahead and give this a shot though. So he was saying that he wasn't getting very far on this. How much is this team going to do? Let's jump into let's just do a quick battle real quick. Look at the presets. I got a feeling it goes for a long time. We have 9 quick battles to use. Let's say 700 turns at least. 311 million damage. There we go. 1.2 billion clash points. Ninja did 138 million. Teox did 106 million damage. So Lady Mikage, of course, could be adjusted. Chris could be adjusted. We'll discard the result here and throw one more at it. If we could hit the 500 plus billion damage, it'd be amazing. 8, 9, hit. Yep, there we go. 440 million damage in Hydra just from this team. This just from adjustments, adjustments on the gear, using the correct champions in the team, and we make it all the way to the turn count. Ninja doing 184 million, Teox 160, Feral at 7.8, and then Krisk just doing this damage from the Hex being spread. So this right here is already getting him the complete Hydra class chests each and every week. This is an excellent team. Now, Hydra reset's going to be happening soon. I could save this for him. I was going to tell him to run it again. He can get the same point. We have a plenty more resets to do. But for the next teams, obviously, I would not use these champions, but I would take the same order to actually get through this. Let's now move over, and if we were to build 2 more teams, what I would do is the same steps, basically. I'm not going to do it because it's going to take too long. We're already 35 minutes into this video. Now let's move over and talk about some Chimera stuff. So as for Chimera, you're in a little bit of an interesting spot. What I would say probably is going to have to be done is having one damage dealer with Mikage being ninja. You could possibly use your Harima as well or a different Shadowkin champion, but in this case, ninja's going to be your best. And then throwing in some more support. Because honestly, the Ram form is going to be a nightmare. You could throw in a Feral potentially for more accuracy, more damage, more resistance, all that kind of stuff, essentially to help with other forms. Having another Revive champion possibly even could help. But at the moment, having Marius in this team as well is going to have the issue basically of him nuking himself as well in the Ram form. Your Ninja's definitely going to nuke himself. There's no question about that. The Ram form's going to have Ninja dying pretty quickly, and then you're going to have to essentially manual it, prevent Sify from rezzing him, so she can revive the Krisk, that's fine, but Ninja, don't let Sify revive the Ninja on the Ram form. Getting your champions into some more protection sets as well, getting Krisk into 9-piece protection, potentially Feral into 9-piece protection, maybe if Sify could be like 350 plus speed in 9-piece protection, is all going to be amazing. It reduces some of the damage this form does to you because it's not going to strip all your buffs anyways. It's going to help you with keeping all your buffs up throughout the fight. You have 2 buff extenders to begin with. You also have block buffs on the boss. A lot of really good debuffs and buffs throughout. So you should be resisting things pretty well. But the most difficult part is likely to be the Ram form once you switch over. If you don't have enough damage here, you could boost Ninja to do a bit more damage by adding the protection sets, adding some Feral sets potentially, definitely a protection set to Krisk for Chimera, though for Hydra, he does need a curse set, so you could either swap those out whenever you're doing the different modes, or you could just leave them in one or the other. With here, though, watch Mikage. We use Ninja, boom, he's taking a chunk out of his HP. He's going to die, basically. He's going to die eventually. No need to res him. Sify's doing a little bit of heals. She's not my favorite healer, to be honest, because her heals are kind of small. She is doing the heals from the ally attack that Mikage gives, so it's a bit more heals than nothing. I left it on auto for a second too long and Sify rezzed. Right there, it's okay, not a huge deal. To be honest, it may not even matter that much if you left it on full auto, because Sify may just randomly res when you go back into the main ultimate form anyways. So it could be some RNG, but this may just work out full auto, no real problem, honestly. Of course, Ninja's just going to keep dying, and you have a chance that your Krisk could die again as well, and then things fall apart. But this could be a full auto run. That should get you 1 key on Ultra Nightmare if geared out and planned out properly. On the Void stages, the actual regular form, you'll be doing a lot more damage. Let's turn it off full auto here. Ninja's dead here for sure, right? But when this thing hits, if you got buffs on, you don't take that much damage. Damage inflicted increased by 10% for each buff removed. So protection sets are going to make you take a lot less damage. Each one of these buffs, though, are potential liabilities once that form changes, though. We're resisting most of the stuff here. We have cleanses from everybody. Ninja's going to go in and start dropping some big damage. Getting Cat's Gaze on him also will make him do tons of damage. So definitely recommend getting Cat's Gaze on Ninja. It's going to make everything just easier. And if we can get to a decent chunk of damage before we're too late, it'd be awesome. Now, is this the most trial efficient team? Definitely not. We're missing a Leech for the Lion form. We have the increased defense from Sify, but we're missing a lot of stuff for a lot of the forms. Lydia would be amazing in here. You can definitely swap them out and swap them around, but it's not going to be the most trial efficient team. There are some, this team right here is one on the optimizer that's running this exact same team. Maybe it was even you before, but it did 8 trials, 2 9-piece protection sets as well on Sify and Feral. The Krisk is much faster, which your Krisk is going to be okay to get to the 1 key for Chimera and get some trials done. It's not going to be perfect. Like for here, you will be able to finish this one. You won't be able to finish this one, unfortunately. You will be able to finish this if Ninja's hitting hard enough. You won't be able to finish that. So you do 1, 2, 3. We have 4, 5, 6. Not too bad. And then 7, switch Mikage in the other form. Increase accuracy. Is a 7. And then you should be able to do 8, right? Do we have weaken? No, we don't have weaken. So 7 and then 8, potentially. Ram's going to be a bit difficult to do that on, but you could possibly do it. Specifically the ones that don't require you actually doing damage. Just place in debuffs instead. Because you do place enough debuffs, right? If you don't, make sure you have Brimstone on the team. That can help you place in some more debuffs. Maybe a bit close. Right now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you may not be able to do that. You have weaken from Mikage, actually. So you could do this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you could. With Krisk and Hexet, you definitely can. Cool. And you have weaken too, with switching Mikage over. So you just have to be careful with when you switch stuff and such. But we're already at almost 20 million damage. Ninja only gets stronger the further a fight goes on. And now he's hitting for, let's see, 347. Of course, he's a long ways off his max damage potential. Speaking of, Cat's Gaze or Rethi Coronet would both be very good on Ninja. He benefits a ton from each of them. I would probably say Cat's Gaze is a little bit better right now, since you do need the extra defense ignore. And of course, manual before you go into the Viper form, or else that happens. You could switch Mikage here as well to her other form, so that she could just strip the Viper. That's going to be okay also. But definitely want to be manualing it, so you don't end up running into that. And what I recommend doing when you manual it is don't use any buffs at the last few turns of the ultimate form and just let all your buffs fall off. And then you're going to be fine. And if this team ends up running smoothly, you start to get the idea of how to run Chimera, then you can start considering, okay, maybe we drop Feral or maybe we drop Krisk. Dropping Krisk may actually be just the way to go. And then we put in, okay, debuff. Let's go for a decreased attack champion plus a decreased defense. There is none. What? There's literally Krisk. He's an option. Why is it not showing any champion? Oh, it's a weak version of decreased defense. I was like, we just used a champion who had that. So you could do Krisk again if you wanted. Ninja will place decreased defense, so you don't really need that. You go decreased attack. Well, who would you want for a decreased attack champion? You could possibly bring in a champion with some heals. Maybe we have someone with a leech as well. That'd be pretty cool stuff. Probably not going to use Vogoth, though. We could use a Taras, potentially. Decreased attack, big A2, buff extension on that A3 ability. We could keep Krisk in there for the decreased speed and everything. Obviously, Feral brings that stuff as well. You could use Uko for decreased attack and some revives on the A3 ability. Siphi, obviously bringing a revive, so may or may not be needed there. But you can get a little bit creative. You could use Newt if you wanted to push the damage a bit further. We have the increased defense from Siphi already. He could do the A2, also bring in the weaken, and now you have another extra potential damage dealer. So just some stuff to consider there for your team. You will have to manual the Ram form specifically and before the Viper form comes around, just so you can make sure to actually, survive those forms. But those are my suggestions as far as Hydra and Chimera go. If we look at his review, basically, overall boosting champion speeds above 250 is going to be massive for your account. Even 280, if you can hit it, will be awesome. And getting them in Stone Skin, especially throwing more protection sets, which is going to come from more Hydra farming. Going through and cleansing your gear is going to be huge. Things to do now, I have it listed here for him. Building out Hydra and Chimera teams, cleansing gear, optimized with PvP in mind. Just like I was building the Hydra team to consider Chimera, build your champions to consider PvP. What I mean by that is your Marius, okay? Are you going to use them in PvP or both? If you're going to use them in both, can a gear set work in both areas? Maybe 6-piece Merciless is just so good in PvE, like Chimera, you want to keep it there and then Stone Skin somewhere else. That's fine. But maybe a champion like Siphi gets used in both areas. Should she have 9-piece protection? Is that going to be fine? Maybe, maybe not. Hydra, for example, is typically a bit easier to do that stuff with. Maybe you're using your, can't think of a great option right now because you have a lot of options, and I would just really build champions specifically for Arena or specifically for Hydra for you. A lot of times what I do recommend is consider both areas at the same time. Like I do this too sometimes, but you have 6-piece Savage there. You only need 4 of those. Now, like Cheshire Cat, he could be Hydra and Arena in the same build. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit worse because you don't need Stone Skin and Hydra, but it's going to be easily swappable between the areas, no problem. You could come in here, though, definitely and build him in Stone Skin with Savage. So getting more 4-piece Stone Skin, 4-piece Savage pieces on your champions, your damage dealers for the Arena, is going to be massive. And also, most importantly, even if you're not swapping gear, which I kind of doubt you are, getting your champion speed tuned is going to be huge. So in your situation, you may not need to get Marius right behind Siphi because that's a big speed difference. Siphi's not a good speed booster necessarily because it's not big. She's okay to boost into like lockouts and stuff, but for your damage dealers, it's just too hard. So Siphi into Fabian. Fabian needs to be like probably 380 or so. But Siphi boosts and then Marius goes, but he should really be like 250, 260 or somewhere like that. Your Laz is a good speed though. Definitely a good speed there. With Nishak, definitely run an increased attack champion there because his bombs scale based on the attack. If you have increased attack plus an increased accuracy champion, even better. Something to consider. But making sure you're speed tuned, really just pushing up the speeds across your account, making sure you're speed tuned, and having sets that are better in the specific areas. So like PvP, Stone Skin plus whatever other set, Stone Skin plus Savage, 6 pieces of Stone Skin plus Relentless, Stone Skin plus Supersonic, things like that. And then for PvE content, so things like Chimera and Hydra, 9 pieces of Protection, 6 piece or even 9 pieces of Merciless. Looking for 4-piece Reflex, 4 pieces of Merciless. Whatever you can do to get a little bit extra value out of your sets will make a big difference in actually your overall damage that you're able to do in Hydra, Chimera, or wherever you're working on. So guys, hopefully that helps you all out. Most importantly, Biohack, I hope it helps you out in building out your teams and overall optimizing your account. I did a few builds there. Let's try to throw in one build for, actually I can't do that because we don't have any Stone Skin even built. We have crit damage there. We have not really in defense. Really, doing a gear cleanse would be massive as well. Cleansing your gear, getting it rolled up, seeing what you're actually working with will be huge for your account, as well as I can almost guarantee it, you guys watching the video. Gear cleanses are something I see pop up all the time that need to be done. But either way, guys, thank you all very much for watching. Thank you to Biohack for reaching out to me to do this takeover. If any of you guys are interested in one, click the link down below, get signed up. I can do Hydra builds, Chimera builds, account review, 3v3, whatever you need. I got you guys. Thank you all, and I'll catch you in the next one.